Have you ever heard of a village so terrified of a curse that they willingly offered one of their daughters to a spirit from the river? A place where drums beat not for celebration, but for sacrifice. Tonight, on African Tales Arising, we journey into the forgotten forests of Africa, where ancient customs ruled over human hearts, where spirits walked among mortals, and where a young woman named Amina challenged a destiny written long before she was born. But before we begin, if you enjoy African folklore, mysteries, legends, and untold stories from across the continent, subscribe to African Tales Arising, like this video, and tell us in the comments, would you obey tradition or fight fate? Now dim the lights and listen carefully, because some rivers never forget. Long ago, hidden between thick forests and endless grasslands, there existed a prosperous village called Nambala. The people of Nambala were farmers, hunters, fishermen, and storytellers. Their children laughed freely. Their granaries overflowed. Their rivers shimmered under the moonlight. Life seemed perfect. Until the deaths began. First, it was livestock. Cows were found lifeless near the river bank. Then goats disappeared. Soon after, fishermen stopped returning home. Families searched the waters. Nothing. No bodies. No boats. Only silence. Then one night, the village chief had a dream. An old woman dressed in white emerged from the river. Her eyes glowed like fire. She spoke slowly. You have forgotten the promise made by your ancestors. The chief trembled. What promise? The spirit replied. Every 50 years, Nambala must offer bride to the river guardian. Then she vanished. The next morning, the chief summoned the elders. And what they revealed shocked everyone. It was true. Generations ago, a terrible drought had nearly destroyed Nambala. People begged the spirits for mercy. A mysterious river deity agreed to restore life, but demanded one condition. Every 50 years, a maiden must become the spirit bride. For decades, nobody questioned the arrangement, because nobody survived long enough to remember. Now, 50 years had passed, and the spirit had returned. The village gathered beneath the sacred baobab tree. Women whispered nervously, men lowered their eyes. Young girls trembled. The village priest carried a calabash. Inside were cowrie shells. Each family placed their daughter's name inside. No one could refuse. Tradition was law. One by one, names were drawn. Silence filled the air. Finally, the priest opened the last shell. He looked horrified. He whispered, Amina. Gasps erupted. Amina was 17. Kind. Intelligent. Beloved. She cared for widows. Taught younger children. Sang beautifully. Even the elders admired her. Her mother collapsed. Her father protested. But tradition had spoken. Amina remained calm. She simply asked, has anyone ever returned? No one answered. Because no spirit bride had ever been seen again. Days passed. Preparations began. Amina was dressed in white. Forbidden from touching ordinary food. Forbidden from speaking loudly. Forbidden from seeing young men. Then something strange happened. While gathering herbs in the forest, she met a stranger. Tall. Dark-skinned. Graceful. Wearing clothing unlike anyone in Nambala. He introduced himself. Keto. He smiled. I've been waiting for you. Amina stepped back. Do I know you? No. But I know your future. Fear gripped her heart. Who are you? He replied softly. I belong to the river. She ran. But his words echoed endlessly. Unable to sleep, Amina sought the oldest woman in the village. Grandmother Zuri. The woman sighed. Then revealed a secret. Not every spirit bride dies. Some become guardians. Some become prisoners. Others fall in love. Centuries ago, a spirit bride married the river guardian. Their descendants lived between two worlds. Half human, half spirit. Grandmother Zuri believed Keto was one of them. Perhaps he had come to help. Or perhaps to deceive. Amina had only days left. She needed answers. At midnight, Keto returned. He offered his hand. Come. Against her better judgment. She followed. They reached the river. The water glowed blue. Mist danced above its surface. Keto spoke. Look. Suddenly, faces appeared inside the water. Women. Young girls. Spirit brides. They were alive. Trapped. Unable to leave. Forced to serve the river guardian forever. Amina gasped. Why? Keto lowered his head. Because the agreement was broken. The ancestors promised willing brides. But fear created sacrifices. The spirit became angry. The curse grew stronger. Amina understood. Tradition had become cruelty. And cruelty had become imprisonment. On the day of the ceremony, the entire village gathered. Drums thundered. Priests chanted. Amina approached the river. But she refused to kneel. She shouted. I was never asked. I do not come willingly. If your power depends on fear, you are not a guardian. You are a captor. The river exploded. Waves rose. Thunder shook the earth. A giant figure emerged. Ancient. Powerful. Covered in flowing water. The river guardian. Its voice echoed. For centuries. They obeyed. Amina answered. They obeyed because they were afraid. But fear is not respect. Silence. Then Tito stepped forward. He knelt. Release them. Let the agreement end. The guardian stared. For what felt like eternity. Then. It left. Not cruelly. Sadly. I waited for someone brave enough to speak. The river glowed brilliantly. One by one. Women emerged from the water, spirit brides from generations past. Some wept. Some smiled. Some vanished into light. The guardian dissolved. Its final words lingered. Traditions must protect people. Not consume them. The curse ended. Rain returned. Fish filled the rivers. Children laughed again. And Nambala never sacrificed another daughter. Was the river guardian evil? Or simply bound by an ancient promise that humans themselves had corrupted? Perhaps the true lesson of Amina's story is this. Not every tradition deserves obedience. Some traditions preserve wisdom, others survive only because nobody dares to question them. And sometimes, the bravest person in a village is not the strongest warrior, but the young woman willing to ask, why? If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to African Tales Arising, leave a like, and share this tale with someone who loves African legends and mysteries. Until next time, keep listening. Because Africa's oldest stories are still whispering through the wind.